Hey all you mystery cats and meddling kids, it's your girl Pammy Chanel back with another video. Today I'm giving you an update on Gloriavale. For some reason today, Pearl Valor was on my mind and I was like, gosh, I wonder what happened to her. If you don't remember or you haven't seen my previous videos, I've done 3 videos on Gloriavale. Just based upon the documentary that was released on Amazon. The documentary was filmed in 2015, and from 2015 to 2022, a lot of things have happened. Well, Pearl and Paul Valor, which was the first wedding that was featured on the documentary, they have left Gloriavale. They left last year. Paul got really, really sick and started having seizures, and there was a whole big fallout from that. So I went through and I, surfed the web like I always do and looked for as much information as I can because I'm in America and the Gloriavale compound is in New Zealand. I really suggest you go back and look at my prior videos because it'll give you a little bit more detail or more background on it. But first of all, here's a picture of Pearl. Not a very good picture, no frontal face pictures, but this is the only picture I can find. She looks amazing. She looks so much better. Even though I know she's giving testimony on stuff that is very, very hard, I know that she is probably feeling better. I cannot imagine not being able to have a say so in what I wear, how I dress. And even though I'm not the most girly girl, you're never going to catch me up here on my videos, making makeup tutorials or anything like that. I do like to get dressed up, like to fix myself up when I can, when I'm feeling up to it. And I cannot imagine being a young girl and not being able to make those decisions for myself. My daughter, she just turned 18. I'm kind of backing off on what I say is appropriate dress because she is an adult. And just seeing her be able to experiment more with her hair, more with her style of clothing is, amazing. And I would not want any girl to ever have to go through, or guy for that matter, to have to go through a point where they're not able to choose what they look like. I'm blessed to be able to be in a Western country that has never had those type of rules or regulations against me. And I'm glad that Pearl is able to go through and be able to have that experience. Sometimes being in a Western country, especially America, we really take advantage of the things that we have that are great. And that's one of those things, being able to really much dress the way you want to dress. Of course, you have your limitations within school, but to be able to dress the way you want to dress without anyone, ready to lock you up or shun you is a good thing. Now, I did take some notes about what I read, and I actually was able to watch the video of her giving her testimony. And let me tell you something, it's a tearjerker. It really is. So, like I said, she left with her husband and her 5 kids last year. She, along with a couple of other women, are actually suing the elders at Gloriavale, and they're trying to, I guess, get back lost wages because as much as we want to say, oh, they did it voluntarily, they had to sign this agreement, blase, blase. These were workers. If you remember my previous video, Gloriavale has a lot of businesses, and the boys and girls in that sect are raised to work pretty much. Whether you're working in the kitchen, whether you're working in one of their companies on the farm, wherever you're working. You rarely saw anything in the documentaries about leisure time. The one fun activity was the big show they put on. That was still work. Now, before I get into this, because I'm gonna dive a little bit into this, please don't send these people hate. I cannot imagine growing up in a institution like Gloriavale. I can't imagine not having the freedoms that I have been able to have. And so we don't want to send these people hate. We want to be able to show these people that, hey, your way may work for you, but there's also another way that may be even better. And then we also want to make sure that we're there for them when they come out, if they choose to come out of the sect. So I have included in the link description the link to donate funds to people who come out. And shout out to all my New Zealand friends and followers over there. Y'all are awesome. Thank you for letting me know there was an update. And yeah, let's get into it. So, one of the things in the testimony, this testimony took place in August, that I found um, compelling was, and it actually it brought me to tears, y'all, was when she was talking about having her teeth fixed. Anybody who has ever had tooth pain, my teeth are not where I would like them to be, but anyone who's ever had tooth pain knows that that's one of the most annoying, painful things you can feel. And it's not like, we talk about childbirth, and maybe I'm a softie, I don't know. We talk about childbirth. My childbirth, I had no medication. I was good because I knew eventually it would be over. A toothache, if you don't get the antibiotics that you need and you don't get the pain medicine that you need, that thing's going to linger and the pain is only going to get worse. So one of the things that she wanted to do, they asked if it's for like almost like a gift, so to speak, before the wedding starts, before she gets married, is there anything that she would like? Well, she wanted to get her teeth fixed because she was having this tooth pain. She needed to have a root canal done. It was going to be about $600. Now, keep that $600 in mind when I talk to you about what Gloriavale was getting off of her. They told her that was too much money, according to her testimony, and they wanted her to instead get her teeth pulled and get a partial plate put in. Now, no woman wants to have to do that. No man wants to have to do that. Teeth are very, very important. It's a part of our face. When you have people going to get their noses done, their eyes done, or get fillers and stuff in their cheeks, our face, that's the first thing people see about us, is our face. And you want to make sure that you're bringing your best, when you're presented. She said that instead she got her teeth pulled, had a partial plate put in. It hurt her so bad. It irritated her gums so much. And I can give a testimony to that because my mom recently, she had a partial plate put in and she can't stand that thing. But instead of getting the root canals that probably would have saved her teeth, this is the only other option. And she said it was so painful that she had to just take it out. Now imagine not being able to get this basic thing done. Another thing that she talked about was food deprivation. Now, I hate to call Gloriavale a cult, but I'm going to call it like I see it. And I know they're going to come after me, and you know what? It's okay, because I'm all the way here in the United States. What you going to do? It's not so much about praising God. It's not so much about trying to guide your people into the right way. It is all about power and control. And it doesn't matter what cult you're under, it is all about the power and it is all about control. What can they get from you? Now, she would talk about how if things weren't going right, or if they were having people being really disobedient and stuff, they would have these fasts. Now, I'm all for fasting. Lord knows I probably need to go on one now. I'm all for fasting. But fasting in a spiritual form is something that you choose to do. You're choosing to turn your plate down and to have that moment of reflection by not eating. Now, fasting is controversial. That's my take on it. As far as from a spiritual perspective, some people do it for weight loss. I'm not going to get all into the fasting part. But when a whole community is made to fast and only eat bread and porridge, that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. And I can only imagine the little ones who are used to having, at least a variety of food. Not sure how much sweets and stuff they were able to have, but a variety of food, and then it just being taken away from them. And I know other cultures do a form of fasting, but still, it's one thing to fast when you want to. It's another thing to fast when you have to. So food deprivation, and this I've also heard about this in the Branch Davidians under David Koresh, and he also used forms of food deprivation. You start talking about taking away people's food. You start talking about taking away people's sleep. Those type of things are basic, human torture. Another thing, that she talked about was how the women were treated. That one day she had a overdue or a messed up library book, and she had to go and pay $20. Well, they only have, and I'm not sure what New Zealand's money is. I'm just kind of, but anyway, she had um, went to the elders to ask for the $20. They only had a $50 note, and therefore they would not give her that $50 note because they didn't trust her enough to bring back $30. And she said, I'm trusted enough to have children, but I'm not trusted enough with the money. That's very telling. Now, Gloriavale is a very, very unique um, situation because we normally hear about how women are mistreated in these sects. Women are treated as second class citizens. And I do believe that in the hierarchy of things, women probably are on the bottom of the totem pole. However, the boys and the men in this colony or group or whatever you want to call them, they're mistreated, in my opinion, just as much because as men, they're not able to really be head of their households because they're having to go to someone else for their food, for money, etc. She said, you're taught you wouldn't survive in the world. And I felt like I owed them. Now, she worked in the kitchen in the beginning of her time working. She stopped going to school when she was 15. She worked in the kitchen. She said she hated school, worked in the kitchen. And it was 3 women made to fix meals for 600 people. Now, if we go back to the documentary shows us a whole lot of people working in the kitchen. That was all for show. It really is only 3 women who were responsible for it, according to Pearl. And also, according to her, they weren't even able to use the electric stoves. Now, when you go and you watch the documentary, which I highly suggest you do, you are able to see they have all of this modern industrial size cooking stuff, only to find out through Pearl's testimony that they were using wood burning stoves, and you would be in trouble if you tried to use the electric stoves. And also, they locked them up. What are we doing? What in the little house of prairie is going on with Gloriavale? I would think it would be more efficient to use the electricity. But moving on, because there was no steady income coming in, they felt like they had to work. They had to contribute to the community. So Paul did his thing, and she, of course, contributed by working in the kitchen. Now, she's working in the kitchen with these women. She's cooking 3 meals a day for 600 people. That means that just like a restaurant is probably open from 5 o'clock in the morning to prep and get things ready, and then maybe 11, 12 o'clock to close everything down to be prepared for the next day. Where's the parenting? Who's parenting their children? Other members of Gloriavale. So when Paul gets sick with this condition and he's having these seizures, he can't work. She's just coming off of having her 5th child. She finally was able to stay home and work with him, but the people made her feel, according to Pearl, like she was being lazy, that, she didn't want to come across that way because she wasn't contributing to the community. Now, this is my take on anything communal. This is not religion-wise. This is just the way I feel about it. I've never been one to do group projects. I hate them. And I definitely could not be one to live in a communal environment. If I'm working and I don't see how it's benefiting my family, I'm all for helping people out. I'm all for, thinking of us as a general community in a place of love and that we can help others. But if I'm going and I'm slaving myself for 12 hours and I can't even go and get my nails done, or I can't even go and make sure that my daughter has a dress that she likes, or my son get the video game that he wants, no, I'm not doing that. And maybe that's the American in me. I'm not a communal person. You're not going to catch me living in that communal lifestyle. But anyway, because she wasn't working, wasn't contributing, her husband wasn't working, contributing, they were seen or looked at in a negative way. After 6 months, now seizures are nothing to play with because you can die. Hello, you can die. After 6 months, he was able to finally see a doctor and get the medication and things that he needed to be on. Within this of her going back and forth, taking her husband to the doctor and stuff, she finds out that the elders, the shepherds, are receiving child tax credit for her kids. I'm not sure if this is a yearly tax credit or a monthly tax credit, but either way, these people were sitting up here making money off this girl and her children, making money off of her when she was a child. Now my camera's acting funky, so I gotta fix it. So once she finds this out, that's when she's kind of like, yeah, we need to go. It's time to get out of this community. And they end up leaving. There were people who were at the trial who were sitting back, who were from Gloriavale. Some were laughing, some were passing notes, according to the article that I read. And I will link that article below. My thing is, these women were employees. Give them their money. They were employees. They were technically, if you want to call a spade, they were slaves. And they should be paid and compensated and get all of their dues back to them. But I am so happy that she left. I'm happy anytime a person stops doing things that make their lives unhappy. Sometimes change is hard. It's very, very hard. When you are taught a certain way of life and then you decide to change it, it's going to be hard. But I have faith in Pearl and Paul that they will be able to make a wonderful life for their children, a life that includes freedom, a life that includes making choices that they want to make versus what the group or what an elder tells them to do. And I'm going to say it again. I am so happy for them. Pearl, if you're listening, I am happy for you, girl. Happy for you. Live your life. And I really hope that Paul is able to recover from the condition that he has, and that he's able to get the medical treatment that he needs, which is why we need, I understand right now we're having an issue with inflation, but even if you just send them $2, it's something. So definitely the link is down below for you guys to donate to them. I'm sorry it's been taking me so long to make videos, but I've been having my own medical issue. But I did want to come up here and give you guys an update on Pearl and Paul. I've also been looking to see if I could find any information about Dove, and so far I have not. If you guys know anything, especially my friends in New Zealand, if you guys know anything about Dove, is she still, on the Gloriavale site? Has she left? Please comment down below and let me know. Her story was also one that was very compelling, and because her father left, I want to know if she's still there too. So until next time, guys, stay nosy and stay meddling. Bye.